Hey, welcome to this midweek meditation. I'm Jerry Akin. Speaking of meditations, how many of these meditations are enough? Do we ever get to the point where we've seen enough, heard enough, reflected enough? Do we have too many devotionals? Are we at risk of being in the Word too often or reflecting on the truths, the promises of God too often? Well, it might not surprise you to hear me say, no, I don't think that's possible. How many meditations are too many? How many reflections are too many? I would say the amount that keeps you from doing what God is calling you to otherwise do. In other words, if you're spending a lot of time in Bible study and that time is taking you away from something else that God would have you do, then at that point I would say maybe there's too much study, too much reflection, too much meditation. Otherwise, I would say as often as possible, reflect, pause, meditate, seek out the Word of God and the promises that the Word offers, and do this as often as necessary. Paul wrote to the church in Colossae, and he said, keep your mind fixed on the things above where Christ is. In other words, there are things in this world that will distract you and detract you, and they are always vying for your attention. And we can easily gravitate towards those things. So it's very important for us to constantly be aware of where our mind is going. That's why these moments here are important, to help us keep focused, to keep our mind fixed on the things above where Christ is. It's a lot like hydration. You don't drink a whole bunch of water all at once and then not drink anything anymore. You drink a glass of water here and there throughout the day to keep yourself hydrated, to keep yourself healthy. And it's the same way with these spiritual matters. Return often to devotion, to meditations, to prayer throughout your day, even if it's just a little bit at a time, because it's going to help you keep your mind fixed on the things above where Christ is seated.